We are moving north.
This is the third and final in our series of rapids.
And in order to do so, there are several fairly intense tidal rapids that we have to navigate through.
Well, the danger on this one is that just next to this island there is a rock submerged and the currents kind of push you towards it.
But in between all the tidal rapids, there's also a lot to see in these islands. From a driftwood cabin where sailors have left mementos of their voyages over decades, to some more abandoned kind of places with fairly sad stories behind them, and a lot of really stunning scenery and wildlife. It's going to be an interesting voyage north. So let's get planning and let's get moving.
We're on our way north. On board our Cape George cutter 36 is my husband Aladino and myself, Maya. After a 5-year complete refit to our boat, we are finally out sailing, about to explore one of the most wild and beautiful coastlines on Earth. Join us for the Northern Voyage.
Hello and welcome to the Octopus Islands. After a week of waiting for mail down south and then finally making our way up here in the last week's episode, we are now just spending a few days here and exploring the anchorage. Once we have thoroughly explored this area, time to head ever further north.
We have an interesting passage coming up. We're in the Discovery Islands, which is a densely packed archipelago. The channels here are narrow, and as the tide sweeps through them, there are many tidal rapids which can whip through at 10 or more knots. As we continue north, if we want to make any decent amount of headway, we're going to have to go through more than one tidal pass per day, and that means a whole new set of issues when passage planning. How do we time multiple passes so we hit all of them at or near slack water? And how near to slack water is still safe for a full keel sailboat like ours?
But for now, let's go check out the Octopus Islands driftwood cabin.
Gunkier than I thought.
Not surprised.
Well, I'm going to tell you funny
The warm summer air drifts in through the wide windows, and all I can hear is the gentle breeze in the grass, the slow clinking of the driftwood, the entire cabin a softly moving wind chime. I'm very grateful this place exists. The island is privately owned, but the owners allow this tradition to continue. In return, it seems that the place is treated with respect.
So we've had the most beautiful afternoon sitting here making art in the presence of our entire sailing community's collective creative vision.
The effort that people have put in all around us, like there are some really incredible pieces. Like there's pieces with varnish on them. I don't know, I think it's like a testament to the creativity that we all have.
Totally.
Allison, I love this.
So pleased.
It's so satisfying.
Really nice.
Prawn fishermen like in the old days, hey
That's
James?
it. We're pulling the traps under sail today.
That's awesome. Very light. What's the depth here?
About 240 feet, so like 80 meters in.
So we're not pulling full depth. Wait.
Oh.
Whoa.
Ooh.
What do we got? First trap.
Nice.
Okay, we're on prawn.
First trap has
That's
something.
good.
Oh, those look good.
That is awesome.
Woo!
Yay!
Bloody good haul.
Yeah,
That's like 50 prawns between the two traps.
totally. That's
Wicked.
awesome. Nice. I see where inspiration for gladiator armor came from. We're just medieval.
Jousting.
Yeah. Look at this thing.
It's a
It's
weapon.
an absolute weapon.
I think the gale has subsided, so
The
we're
gale's
back
calmed
in
down,
tune.
but we're still in like fairly steady northwesterly.
Yeah. What am I doing?
Golf.
Hole in the wall.
Hole in the wall G. Where currents can reach 12 nodi, 12 knots on the flood. According to the BC Indian Language Project, the original hole in the wall is a small round indentation about 1 meter wide in a cliff on Sonora, submerged only at extreme high tide and known to the Omalco First Nation as Raven's Chamber Pot.
Fire in the hole.
Fire in the hole. Wow, we're close to the hole in the wall. I don't have to make many adjustments. Da-da-da-da.
Are we above the 50th now?
We are 50.
Sick.
Yeah, a little bit above.
Oh, that's a good feeling.
Should we continue on to the 59th?
Yes, to the 59th.
To Glacier Bay.
59 degrees north.
We are so close. I have to make such little adjustments. We are so close to the hole in the wall.
Quite a claw.
I'm going north. They're the Swiss flowers that mom.
At about 1:30, we'll have 2 knots of current going with us. And then from there, that'll give us, because it's about 4 miles around to Stewart, Gillard Passage. And then Gillard here is going to change to being in ebb at 3 o'clock, which would then have the current going with us through Gillard and Dent, which I think would be pretty primo. because we could that would get us running with the current this way and then with the current that way. And then we could go up to like Shoal Bay or Brickle Bay or even onto Greenpoint Rapid.
We are on the move again, trying to get north. The areas where the islands are really close cause some massive tidal rips. The real key is that we want to hit the tidal passes at slack water, which is the moment in between high and low tide, and that's where the water is the calmest. At this point in the journey, there are so many tidal passes that to wait for every one of them exactly at slack means that we're not going to get very far. Okay, so here's our game plan. We're using this book a lot, Best Anchorages Best Anchorages of the Inside Passage. The plan is that we're gonna head through Hole in the Wall again, which is the same tidal pass we came through when we entered Octopus Islands. And then we're going to head up that channel, head into Calm Channel, gonna head into the Yakulta Rapids. Now here is a pretty interesting / kind of scary spot if you're not used to this stuff, which we aren't yet. There's actually sort of 3 rapids all in quick succession of each other. The idea is that you do all of these at once in one slack tide. But we're going to actually be even a little bit more ambitious than that. And we are going to do Hole in the Wall and Yakulta, Gillard, and Dent all in one slack tide. We're going to leave Octopus Islands, head through Hole in the Wall before it's really slack, so we're still going to have like 1.5 to 2 knots of current. And then it's going to hit slack, it's going to switch to an ebb, which means the currents are now going to be moving with us as we head up into the next 3 rapids. Having the currents move with us through these ones is going to be really good on an ebb, and the reason for that is the currents on a flood tide in this section are worse than the currents on an ebb tide. So we're going to hit these ones probably still a little bit after slack, but the currents are going to be moving with us, and hopefully we'll make safe passage through. Now, to be completely honest, I don't think we would have come up with this plan if it weren't for sailing with Allison and James. We're super happy to be sailing with them because they've been sailing this coast for years. I think without that insight and knowledge, we wouldn't have been comfortable sort of going through Hole in the Wall early, as it were. But they've assured us it's all good, and I certainly trust them. So, off we go.
Yeah, here we go.
Oh, there's a big boat. Huh.
Everything. Well, they're pushing against it then. Well, we're got the VHF on.
Oh, it's pulling a house.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, we'll wait for it then.
Seeing the large ship with float home under tow heading towards Hole in the Wall actually gave us a lot of confidence in our plan to shoot through the rapids a little early. If this tug and barge could go through, we should have no problem. The water swirled, and occasionally it would grab the bow, but we were always able to bring her back on course. We slipped through easily.
Okay.
We are through the narrowest point. Yeah.
So I think that was actually pretty illustrative. Like, we made it through absolutely no problem. We're totally fine. But that was only 1.5 knots, and just like the swirly whirliness, hey?
Oh, it's a lot.
It's
we have a big surface underwater. Yeah.
That's the thing. So these, little power boats with huge engines and not very much underwater surface. That's a lot different than.
It is a big difference, yeah.
Than us
we
with
have
a
a big
lot.
rudder that gets grabbed too. But yeah, planing boats are the ones that are least affected. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so now we're gonna floor it to the next one, hey?
That's right.
All right, off we go. We found it!
We found it!
Hole in the Wall!
But we gotta keep going! We're in a rush!
Isn't it weird to see such a resort like that up here?
Yeah. We're coming up to Gillard Passage. We already have 2 knots or so with us. There is a powerboat in front that I can study, see how it goes. It looks fairly wide though. Shall be okay.
Okay, we're through.
We are through, yeah. Well, the danger on this one is that just next to this island there is a rock submerged and the currents kind of push you towards it. But we had good control. We're very close to slack. It's a bit exhilarating, yeah, but so far we only took them where they give us about a 2-knot push, and it was manageable, yeah. We have 1 more to go. The next one is Dent Rapid. It creates a deflection which can become hazardous as, yeah, the deflection pushes you towards Sonora, which is here. But we're on an ebb, and it says here, on the ebb, the stream at Dent Rapids is much more consistent because there is nothing to deflect the flowing water. If you find yourself riding a faster ebb than planned, stay in the middle of the pass as there is a set to tugboat passage and the rocks therein. So yeah, should be okay on the ebb, better than on the flood. And here we go.
The scenery around us was stunning, but we weren't really focused on the beauty. We were going 9 knots in a boat with a hull speed of 7, but the push was consistent and we stayed in the middle of the channel.
So far I like going with the current instead of against.
Yeah, Little Dent, this one seemed to be the easiest of all of them, actually.
Yeah, we're still flying at 8 knots. At this RPM, it's maybe giving us 2.5 knot push, but the least turbulence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I woke up this morning to the north to gather all the shadows I have torched.
Ah, looks like we're going to make Canadian tzatziki with this cucumber. Or maybe not so much.
Oh no.
We got 50 prawns in the fridge. Maybe if we didn't. Fishing's hard. So much patience.
Zen Master Dini.
You make me want to go explore where flowers grow, the sun is warm. You make me want to go explore.
Oh no. Poor dude.
We pulled into Shoal Bay for the night, hoping for a spot at the dock, but it was all full, so we anchored out. This place used to be a fairly bustling port with a pub where cruisers could meet and share stories, but now the pub is closed, the dock has no services, and there are big signs saying that you're not allowed to walk on shore if you don't pay for the dock overnight. So anyway, not every place is a smash hit. We enjoyed a calm evening at anchor, and we were happy to leave the next morning. We are moving up Cordderero Channel now. In a little bay, tucked just off Cordderero Channel, Navionics alerted us to the Cordderero Lodge. The comments on Navionics left by users over the years told a pretty sad story. A comment from 2007 read, "Excellent German food served in a nice, clean European Gasthaus fashion." In 2010, someone wrote, "We had a nice day and dinner. George W. Bush was there a few days earlier, fishing." In 2014, someone writes, "Nice friendly marina with dock space, food is good, and cozy restaurant invites the boating guests to linger and get to know one another." The next comment is in 2018, and the story has suddenly changed. Cordderero Lodge, fallen to ruin, the title reads. Careful, all are gone, caretaker no longer attends. Buildings semi-submerging, floats collapsing. The most recent comment from 2022 just says, Cordderero Lodge is mostly underwater, seems beyond repair.
You can see evidence of all these mooring lines because I believe that there was a larger floating component to the lodge, which was actually the main part of it, from what I understand. And either that has sunk completely and we can't see it, or it was towed out. I'm not really sure. These little outbuildings, I believe, were not a main part of the lodge, but again, I was never there, so I can't say for absolute sure.
A bit of Googling unearthed a fairly tragic tale of the owner being terminally ill and the lodge being ransacked by thieves. While we floated there, taking it all in, it was very still and quiet. But how quickly this coastal rainforest returns to itself. How effortlessly the presence of humans is swallowed by waves and trees. I was in a weird mood as we continued along the channel. I felt a sense of loss. The pub at Shoal Bay was gone, and we weren't even allowed to walk on shore. The dock and Gasthaus in Cordderero Channel were gone, and left behind were a few decaying buildings piled high with junk. What would it have been like to cruise this coast a few decades ago? Were we missing something? Was there more life on this coast back then? Were we slipping backwards? And so I was glad when we pulled into Blind Bay for the night and found a Cheerful marina in full operation. That night, in a beautiful pavilion overlooking the harbor, we shared food with friends and enjoyed what this coast is today. Still vibrant, still beautiful, but of course, always changing. A huge thank you, everyone, for being here. You might be able to tell, but I really love making these videos. It has been such a wonderful, wonderful joy to be able to tell the stories of these adventures, and to be living these adventures. So thank you for living them alongside us as we move northwards along this beautiful coastline and uncover all these little stories along the way. A huge thank you to the names now appearing on screen for always going above and beyond to make sure that Magic Carpet keeps being produced. And a really big thank you to all of our patrons. We couldn't do this without you. It is you guys who keep this all going. And most importantly, it's you guys who keep this channel completely audience funded so that we don't have to interrupt the programming to read scripts about sponsors. And we are really proud of that. I feel I'm very precious about these videos. I love making them, something that I feel proud of, and I'm extremely proud that I get to make them and tell the stories that I want to make. And that is because we are audience funded, and that is because of our patrons, so thank you. If you would like to become a patron for as little as $2 a month, it's completely up to you how you decide to donate. You may do so in the link in the description, and in return, we publish real-time updates every week on Patreon. All right, I think that's it for me. As always, we will see you next Friday.